back.
I'm
Tylor.
And I'm Rita.
And this is
Wild Ride.
Woo! Points if you can guess what horn that is. What car are we in? You'll never know.
You'll never know.
We just went to the date night podcast, which
yes.
I just love the environment and the aspect that it's a podcast. Like, it just makes it more fun.
Mm-hmm. And we got on Twitch this time.
Yes.
And got to see everybody's, like, comments and stuff.
And we were really missing out on that prior, because, like, the Twitch chat was popping.
And I commented. I love commenting on stuff.
And I commented, but didn't realize that it showed my name, and I didn't really love that. Because I made my username my name. So that was fun. But, cool story. Someone I know / live with is probably going to be on the next one.
Is she really?
Yes.
Whoa.
So we'll have to bring the house for that one.
Yeah.
So that will be exciting. But when we were there, we were talking about how cool it would be to, like, bring our podcast to something like that.
Yeah, like a live audience.
And
so, like,
it's always on this road. And, like, having the disco headphones.
Yes.
Silent disco headphones. And I would envision, like, having our guest stars. We'd have guest stars, and we just have our chats about it.
Yeah.
But somehow making it interactive.
Yeah.
It'd be so fun.
It'd be super fun.
That's a dream for the podcast, for sure. A
goal.
Oh my gosh. A goal, not a dream. A goal.
A goal. A smart goal.
Smart goal. We gotta make it smart.
Yeah. Do you have any other fun updates for the people?
I am almost fully discharged from the concussion life. It's been a long ass time.
Yeah.
But Monday hopefully is the day I can do just about anything. I mean, I've done concerts, I've done roller coasters, I've done plane rides. Slugbug! That's my first one ever! Oh my gosh.
I'm so sorry you guys had to witness that.
Oh, sorry. I got very excited. And I have a job. Thank you. Just a little bit. You're just a little annoyed that I got it before you.
Yeah.
Because that one's always sitting there.
It's a mixed feeling.
I start a job next week, or potentially, and I'm looking forward to, like, routine, but also I don't want to give up my freedom. It's been nice.
Yeah.
Someone just said, like, I had a unwanted sabbatical, and I'm like, yeah.
I don't know if it was unwanted.
True. I don't know if those were the words used, but a sabbatical, and I don't want it to end.
Yeah. There's so many bikers out. Does that make you nervous?
Yeah. Because bikers feel like they own the road.
Yeah.
Which, fair, like, we need to be cautious of their safety, but, like, I don't know what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
And I don't always know, like, your signals or, like, biker rules.
Yeah. Like, they're on both sides of the street right
like,
now.
What are you doing? And, like, stay in the lane. I don't have places to drive.
Yeah. It's scary.
So, yeah, that does scare me. Oh, but what I was gonna say about what I learned during my sabbatical is how much, like, the way I function with having ADHD and more creative brain and being able to, like, explore that creativity, which I've been so thankful for and, like, had so much fun, like, using my hobbies again and the art and all that fun stuff, is how much I would love to have a job that lets me work from home and still use my creative brain and be able to enjoy my hobbies, work when I have the energy and time for it, versus, like, on a set schedule that forces me to work when they need to, even if I'm not able to mentally give it all at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking forward to finding a job that can fit that.
Yeah.
Because I think that would be a real thriving life for me.
Oh, for sure.
Especially just with not just, like, my creativity and ADHD aspects, but, like, mentally needing that, and physically, like, I've missed so many days of work in my whole life due to like having to take a mental health day because I can't function.
Yeah, you don't have the energy.
And it would be so convenient because I could take that day and I wouldn't miss out on work because I would still get it done.
Yeah.
It would just be when the energy and time was there for me. So
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to finding a job that can meet that.
Yeah.
How about you're still living the corporate life.
Still live in corporate life. It's
Corporate
all right.
girly.
It's all right. I am just, I don't know. It's still just a job that I can leave when it's time to leave and live the rest of my life and not like worry about it when I'm not there.
Yeah.
And I love that.
And that's what you've wanted.
That's what I wanted. Like, but I still like have like passion for it and like think it's still important, but I can still leave it at work, and that's what I needed at this point in my life. So I've been enjoying that. Insurance is dumb. So I got.
Don't even get me started. Prior authorization?
Fuck,
PTSD.
Yes, I'm having the same problem. So
why do I feel like I'm in the middle of the lane? Okay.
Because the lanes changed.
Okay.
But I got sleep apnea.
Okay.
Moderate sleep apnea. I was waking up about 15 times every hour during the night.
Which, of course, you're going to be tired and exhausted.
Explains why I'm always tired. Yeah, I'm like, obviously. Whatever. So I did not want a CPAC. First of all, I don't think it's going to work for me because
you're a wild sleeper.
I'm a wild sleeper.
And she has, I would consider it like night terrors, where
a little bit.
She, sorry to expose you.
No, that's fine.
But like, I think that could either freak you out more or like put you into another night terror or something wild. Like, I don't see that working either.
No, and like when I had headgear as like a teenager, I took it off at night every single time. In my sleep.
I'm cold.
I wake up and I'm like, fudge.
Thank you.
And then also like I was reading it, and sometimes people who are like claustrophobic have trouble with it, and I was like, oh god, that's me. Like I would definitely start to feel claustrophobic with a big thing covering my face.
Totally.
So that's just not gonna work for me. So my doctor was like two things. One is like a mouth guard, which I'm stuck with getting fitted for on Monday, maybe, I don't remember. And then the other one was going to be medicine, but my insurance decided they're not going to cover it, so I have to call them and try and figure it out, which sucks because I was really apprehensive about it, and I spent a long time talking to my doctor, long time talking to the neurologist, did a lot of like research by myself, and then
became comfortable with the
idea of it, and then insurance is like, nope.
Yeah.
And like both my doctor and the neurologist were like, I think this is a great option. I think this is going to be really amazing for you, like all the things. But insurance, who knows nothing about me, has decided I don't need it. So that's really frustrating.
Yeah, very frustrating.
So I have to try and figure that out now. I'm not looking forward to all those phone calls.
Yeah, I was, as you know, like with my health condition, I've been on the phone with insurance.
It's the worst.
The worst. And I don't know how someone can do it while having a job.
That's another thing that I like about my job is like I can just step away and like do this kind of stuff.
Totally.
Because you need to do it during working hours.
Yeah.
And you're at work. And like when you're teachers in a classroom, like you couldn't do that because you had a classroom full of children. So like obviously that didn't work.
And the time period where you could take a call was not a time to.
You would be like on hold, they'd finally answer and you'd be like, just kidding, gotta go back to the children.
Yeah.
So
I remember one time like taking a call and that happening, like having to pick up the kids and like being on the phone call because it's important and you're like, I have to do this, and like, kids, be quiet, I need to take this call.
And then I'm like sitting there, I'm like, they're definitely gonna go home and be like, my teacher was like talking on the phone and blah, blah, blah. I'm like,
yeah. Oh gosh. Bless you. Bless you. Bless you. Bless you. Bless you. Do you want to know my favorite thing? And it's kind of mean.
I think that you just did it, didn't you?
I did. My favorite thing to do to people, and it's mean. It's so mean.
It's okay.
Is to stop someone's sneeze.
I'm like a 2 sneezer. I think I was
Yeah.
gonna sneeze twice.
Like, if someone's already in it, like, already, like you said, if
Yeah.
you're gonna be constant back to back, it's not gonna work. But if you see someone about to sneeze, I just use the words bless you and I like scare them. It will stop their sneeze and they'll be so mad because you feel the need to sneeze, but you can't do it.
Yeah, I would have been so
I
mad
love
if you would have
doing
stopped that
it.
second sneeze.
I literally love doing it.
Oh, that's your mean girl.
It is mean girl. Sorry about it. But insurance, ugh, I'm so sick of it. So actually, I got this new insurance recently, and I've never had to pay for insurance. Like, it's always been through work where it was like taken out of your account or whatever, whatever they do, or my parents or whatever. So now I'm on this new insurance and I had a premium. And like, I've heard the word premium used a lot. I've heard that it's like a payment that you have to do, but I didn't understand that you have to pay that premium every month. In a sense, I don't know. That's probably just me being, is it oblivion to it?
I don't know. You just didn't understand it. Nobody explained it to you.
And I know, like, I had to pay it right in the beginning, and I thought when I did that, I put in my card to be, like, taken out or whatever. Like, I thought I was good to go, not having to, like, pay this bill every month on my end. I thought it would just kind of do it for me because I put my card in. I thought I did. And since I didn't pay it, I ended up having to... No, I didn't end up having to. They took away my insurance. So that was real unfortunate. Sorry, we had to record the moment. And so now I don't have insurance. And I am supposed to have a Mayo Clinic appointment for my stomach issues that I've been having. And this appointment is so important. Wow, that was a lot of words.
Yeah.
And I can't go to it. It would cost $5,000 to go.
Does anyone have an extra $5,000 laying around?
So if you want to, like, loan that, and I might not give it back, but yeah, so that's unfortunate, and I just hate insurance. And then I can't get insurance back until the beginning of June, which luckily I have a few other appointments in June, so that should be good, and it'll all work out. But it's just like the things that people expect you to know or assume that you know, or like maybe your parents taught you or you grew up in a house that was common knowledge, and like it's not for me. And trying to learn it by myself already with a brain that is slow at taking information and learning the process, it's a lot. But like my dad said, I want to be a pro in insurance. Health insurance.
You're going to speak fluent health insurance.
Yeah, fluent health insurance. Don't ask me about any other insurance. I'm not there yet.
I've also been having another struggle. So I used to have an HSA, which was a health savings account. And it was all my money, like just money I put aside for my paycheck that went into there or whatever. And I just had like a debit card basically, and anytime I had like a medical related thing, I just swiped my card, took money out, it was good to go. Whatever. Now with my new insurance, I have an FSA, and again, it's still just my money, but it's not like a savings account. It's like a spending account or something. I don't know. I have to use up all the money before the end of the year, or else it just disappears. Which would really suck, right?
Oh my gosh.
And with my HSA, I always just like swiped, and they just took the money out and it was fine. I never had to do anything else. But now with this FSA, apparently they want like receipts with everything, which is stupid because again, it's my money. It's my money. It's taken out of my paycheck and goes into this account.
Yeah.
Whatever. But it's not like taxed, and that's why you would do it. But so I swiped my little card for like a $400 bill for my speech therapy. So this was forever ago. And I swiped my little card, paid for it, whatever, thought I was good to go. I've just been using it. And then all of a sudden I got like a denial of something letter, and they're like denying that payment. And I was like, so did they get paid or did they not get paid? And I called like 3 different times trying to figure out what the heck was going on. And she's like, yeah, they're paid, but like someone needs to pay us now. And I was like, I do every paycheck. Like, what are you talking about? And and whatever. She's like, as long as you like get us the like itemized receipt, like it'll go through and it'll be fine. So I had to call and get transferred to a bunch of different people because obviously it's a really old bill. And like they finally got it to me, they emailed it to me, and I emailed it to them, and it wouldn't go through. So I was like, I need a different email address. So I tried like 3 different email addresses. I think it went through, and then I put it on the app, and it's still whatever. Now my card that I would usually just like swipe for all my medical expenses is like frozen.
Ugh.
And I can't use it, but I have medical expenses, and it's my money, and I have to use it before the year ends. And it's I'm so frustrated.
Yeah.
And I don't understand. And if they're trying to make me pay this like $400 bill, I'm gonna be so mad. That was my money.
That's so crazy.
So I don't really understand what's going on.
Yeah.
But now I'm like keeping all my receipts and like taking pictures of them or whatever. I miss my HSA. It was so much easier.
So much easier. And I feel like it's such a better deal because once again, like it's a great thing for a pregnancy or life health thing that you weren't expecting. Yeah. Oof. Yeah. That's unfortunate.
So
but
we're
I
dealing with that.
haven't shared about my syndrome. My syndrome. I know, I just need to say health thing. What am I supposed to say?
I don't know.
Health thing? It's called celiac? No, it's not.
You know, when you say syndrome, I think of the like bad guy in The Incredibles. Wasn't his name like Syndrome or something?
I have no idea.
God, I used to love that movie. I still love that movie.
I do like that movie. It's a good one.
I'll watch it again soon.
Elastic Girl.
I loved Violet.
I love is his name Gus? No. The little kid, the little boy.
Oh, Dash. We would play it at recess, and I would be Violet, and my friend would be Dasha.
We used to play that at recess too.
Oh, fun.
And we'd play it on the playground, and you could only be on the playground for your powers to work.
Oh. See, ours worked everywhere because we kind of played in the lunchroom a little bit too.
Oh.
Yeah. We had fun.
I remember not exactly the game that we were playing, but we would also, bring our game to like the lunchroom with us.
Yeah.
Or like some of the kids were in our classroom and we'd bring the game in the classroom, but then the teacher would find out, you can't do that.
I don't know why, but I was always really embarrassed about like the games I'd play with my friends because my mom would be like, oh, what did you do at school? Like, what'd you play at recess? And I'd be like, oh, we swang. Like, or we swam. We were on the swings.
There we go.
We were on the swings or whatever.
Yeah.
Or I'd be like, we played tag. And like, it was never true. Like, we were playing much more complicated, complex games than that. But I did not want to share that with my mother.
But also,
I don't know why. Why was I so embarrassed?
I did that too.
Okay. Is that a common thing?
It must be. Or like, we don't want to explain it because we think they probably wouldn't understand.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was truly embarrassment.
Yeah.
Maybe. I always played with all the guys.
Oh.
Like, all the guys were with us. So I was embarrassed about that.
Oh, this is why someone might think you're not a girl's girl.
Okay.
Yeah. That's fine, though.
Yeah.
I think maybe you've grown, probably. Oh, but we also did this thing in the lunchroom. Our milk cartons would have, like, it had, like, a dog or something on the back.
Yeah.
So we, like, they were, like, our dogs or whatever, and we had to feed them. And
you'd bring the milk cartons outside?
No, we, like, shoved food in, like, the little triangles to, like, feed the dog or whatever. And then I didn't drink my milk, so I'd put it in the thing where you put the milk so that you didn't drink. And then we got in really big trouble, and I had to eat in the office for, like, a week. Like, I'd get my food at lunch and then have to, like, do the walk of shame to the office and eat in the office. And I cried every single day. Yeah. I cried so much. And when they, like, told my mom, she was like, why would you do that? And, like, again, I was embarrassed. Like, how do I explain to all these grown-ups we were feeding our dog?
You're feeding the dog.
We were
Oh my
feeding the
God.
dog. Why were they so mad about us taking care of our pet? Cheapers.
So we
Oh.
definitely would hide our food in our milk cartons.
Yeah.
I would do that.
Yeah. But we got in big trouble. Actually, I shouldn't say we. I was the only one who got caught.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Look at you.
It was really embarrassing. And then people would be like, "Why are you eating the average?" I'd be like, "I don't know."
What I think is crazy is go back to the games that we play.
Oh, yeah.
Is, like, I feel like it was never, like, discussed.
No.
Like, it was just, like, it just happened, and, like, everyone knew, or, like, if a rule came up, it was...
Someone just announced the rule, and then everybody just went with it.
Yeah, it was very simple.
That's why
but so fun.
Free play is so important. Like, these games were incredibly complex.
Yes.
Like, the rules that surrounded them and, like, what was possible and what wasn't possible.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
it was one would be, like, complex. For us that I can think of is, like, going up the slide. Mm-hmm. And there was always certain teachers who'd let us go up the slide, and you'd have to know, like, which ones could do it or whatever. But, like, only one person. By the way, we hate that
rule. Mm-hmm. There should not be a rule that you can't climb up the slide.
Do you want to know why?
Yeah.
Because it increases for your large motor skills of gripping and grasping, and that's kind of the big one, but then also just, like, creativity and free play.
And all free play. And, like, yeah, it's okay to teach the rule, like, if a friend is going down the slide, not a good time to climb up it. But if a friend is climbing up the slide, not a good time to go down it. Mm-hmm. Like, you can teach those, like, social rules.
But also, if you're playing a game with a friend...
Yeah.
Like, let them discover what happens if you're climbing up and a friend comes down, because that's kind of fun too.
Yeah, if they run into each other and get hurt, like, making sure they're okay, like, all that kind of stuff, and then being like, what do you think just happened?
Yeah.
And then, like,
why
helping
did it
them
happen?
Figure out the social, like, part of it. Mm-hmm. Or, that's fine. But, like, let's not put too many rules on free play. Like, the only rules should be, like, for safety. And if two kids run into each other because they're both going up and down the slide, like, they're going to be fine.
And that's where you have to use, like, your, I guess, I don't know the right word, but, like, intelligence of, like, if the slide is crazy big and it's not suitable for a toddler to even use, they shouldn't climb up it. But they probably shouldn't use it either without
then they shouldn't be over there.
So that's where, like, you think about things first. But we digress. Back to my syndrome.
Oh, yeah.
I have mals, but I also heard people say mals, but I like mals.
I think you get to decide.
Okay. It's called median. Why don't I know what aortic celiac syndrome? Something like that. I don't really know what the stand for is. Anyway.
It's new.
It's new. We're learning. It's very rare. It's 2 out of 100,000. And I was blessed with it. But anyway, it's my... It's my celiac artery, which is the artery, a bigger artery, that gives all the blood to your organs in your stomach, majority. All those big ones. So the organs that, like, help you digest food and process all that stuff and do all the good stuff.
And absorb nutrition too, right?
Yes. And... so that artery is right underneath your diaphragm, which is important.
Okay.
It's important.
It's important.
Very important.
Everyone listening.
Because I have always struggled with breathing. It happened when I was in school. I was always so good at running, but I could never breathe after or during, honestly. But they tested me for asthma, and they're like, nope, your lungs look good, but you're still having problems, so here's an inhaler. So I've always just said I have exercise-induced asthma, and, like, that's what my chart says, even though, like...
Technically, there's no data to prove that.
Yeah, besides, like, I can't breathe after.
Yeah.
So...
After just running?
After running, or specifically, like, any movement of, like, crunching of my abdomen, like crunches or squat things. Sex.
Yes.
Is that what you wanted me to say?
That is what I wanted you to say.
I may, like, die. Yeah. It happens. I'm sorry.
That's my favorite part, though.
And I can't say, it ain't easy being wheezy anymore. Damn it. I was gonna get that tattooed on me with one of my friends.
You still can, though.
I can? Okay.
Yeah.
That feels better.
Yeah. Because it's not anything but asthma. It's just not easy being wheezy.
Yeah. It sucks. When you have to lay there dead. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I was gonna say when I swim or like if I'm below water, like sitting in the hot.
That's fun.
Okay, sorry. So ultimately, it's this rare syndrome that I have that is blocking the blood flow to where it needs to go, and something like that. I don't really know the true anatomy of why I can't breathe, but that's part of it.
Yeah.
The bigger issue is it's not the artery that's broken or has an issue. It's the ligament that's above it. Most people's has space between the artery and the ligament, but mine ligament is strangling the artery.
We don't like strangulation.
So the blood's not getting to where it needs to go at all, causing severe pain every time I eat food. And this has been since I've been a young kid, and we've been trying to figure out why. And people just say that I'm a wuss, or I don't tolerate pain, or that I'm picky eater, or I'm crazy, or it's because of my drinking.
People love to tell women that they're crazy.
Yeah.
And we're not.
And so I say it every once in a while if I know someone's going to listen, or like I just want to complain, but like I feel like I've kept it to myself.
Well, and you just like minimize it. Even with like me, like I never realized it was like as bad as it was until like recently.
Yeah.
Because you like minimized it so much because that's just the way like everyone else's reactions have made yours be.
And it's been my whole life. So like I've learned to live with it, and I know kind of foods that definitely make it hurt more, and which we learned it's because that organ is not able to process it as well, or whatever the case is. So there's different things like that, but yeah, I definitely have been able to, my body has learned to like not even think about it at times.
Yeah, like that's why you don't have hunger cues.
Yeah, and now knowing about it, I definitely feel the pain a lot more, like I'm more aware of it, so I'm experiencing a lot more pain with that. So hopefully the next step is surgery to cut that ligament, and hopefully the artery will just like go back to a normal shape so that the blood can go where it needs to go. And then there's also something wrong with like my pelvis and the veins wrapped around.
Oh yeah, that one's crazy. Your blood's flowing the wrong direction.
Yeah, so like the veins around my ovaries.
Yeah.
Are like congested, it's called. So like they're all like intertwined, and it's causing the blood to go in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
So having like I've had symptoms of this my whole life too, like extreme blood clots that are crazy, but like I don't know, as a kid, you're like, I don't know what this is.
Well, like you've never had a normal period, so you're just like,
yeah,
oh, this is what normal. It's like. And other people like, oh yeah, like I get blood clots sometimes. And you're like, okay,
yeah,
so it's normal.
Must be fine.
But it's like, no.
Like if I were,
or even like the cramps, people will be like, oh, I get like really bad cramps. I'm like, yeah, I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
But like,
there's levels.
Yeah. And also maybe they have some sort of problem that's probably undiagnosed too, because they don't research women.
Yeah, so like
the women issues.
Yeah, or there's men doing it. So like I'll get my period for a month straight, and like I went to the doctor for it, and they just gave me, I'm already on birth control, and then they'd give me another birth control to regulate it and stop it. And it doesn't work, but I'm like, okay, here we go. Or like I won't get my period for 2 years, and then I'll get it, and it will be heavy as hell because all that blood is like, I don't know where it is. Somewhere. So we got lots of issues here, but at least like my bruises, because I don't have blood flow.
Yeah. She bruises super easily.
Like very
Like she just
easy.
always has a bunch of random bruises. And she's like, I don't know where I got this from.
And like it's been my whole life. Like my legs are the biggest part with the bruises always. And like I remember in like
right now you got one on your butt.
Yeah, it's very weird.
Yeah.
Very, very weird. I don't know how that one happened.
You've had ones on your butt before though too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It is usually like your leg, so
yeah.
You've also had a big one on your arm before.
Yeah. It's normally on my legs, and like growing up, like I was always a kid with bruised all over, but I was also very active.
And you're also like you have a like softer skin tone,
so you can see it.
You can see it better than someone who has like a darker complexion.
Okay, going back to like our time as a kid, I like, does this make me like ratchet or like well, I don't know the word.
Oh dear.
One of those kids, but I always had ripped holes in my jeans, like in the knees.
No, I feel like that's pretty common.
Okay.
And now with kids' clothes, they make like the knees reinforced.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah. And I don't know if I've always done that. I think that's a newer thing.
Okay. Because my mom would, and I'd like then like it, or like I'd rip it a little more and then I'd wear it. Yeah. But now it's a thing, so.
Yeah.
Cool.
Guys are chilling.
Yeah.
But like piggybacking on the like they don't actually pay attention to like women's issues.
Oh yeah.
I had that same struggle with so many doctors. I would talk to them about like problems with my periods and like my vagina, literally. And they would just be like, oh, like, you're fine, like, you're being dramatic. Or I even had a couple doctors who were like, yeah, you probably won't be able to have kids, with like literally no information whatsoever. And that's a very scary thing to like tell somebody. And they just said that.
And like, how young were you?
The first time I was like 16.
Yeah, like
the next time I was like 19.
Just the trauma that like, those words do, like to a woman.
Yeah.
Damn.
Or like I'd tell them that like I'd have pain, and they're like, oh, everybody has a little bit of pain. Like you just have to get used to it. Like you'll be fine. Even a doctor who told me like, oh, just have a baby and then you won't have pain anymore.
Yeah, that's wild.
So like have a bunch of pain, get pregnant
in your vagina. Let's just like clarify that.
Yeah, like there's a lot of fucked up things that happened with that.
Like, can you imagine a man having pain in their penis?
Oh my gosh.
And the extent that they would do.
They would bend over backwards to fix that.
Yeah.
And for me, they always just like brushed it off. Made me feel crazy. Like I'd literally I'd leave the doctor and be like, oh, I'm crazy. Like I'm fine. Like whatever. And no, I wasn't crazy. I had vaginismus and had to go to like physical therapy for months.
Which like is like I've never heard of that until you told me.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's a common thing.
It's not really. It's probably more common than they think, because a lot of people just have painful like insertion.
Yeah.
Like.
Okay.
Tampons were out of the question for a long time in my life.
Oh my gosh, do I need to confess?
Yeah.
Do you want to tell them how I didn't know tampons?
Oh my gosh. She didn't understand the sizing of tampons.
But also, it comes from uneducated.
Yeah, well, of course, everything is.
Okay,
but in case anyone doesn't understand the sizing of tampons, if you look at them, it's very confusing, because it says, like, if you lose, like, this many pints of blood, you need this size. Nobody knows how many pints of blood they're losing. Yeah. That's dumb. How you know is, like, how fast you're filling up a size. Like, if you wear a light tampon and you fill it up within an hour, you should probably be going up a size in tampons. Okay. It doesn't have anything to do with the size of your vagina. The tampon size literally just has to go with your flow. So like at the beginning of my period, I usually have to use bigger ones, and then towards the end of the period, I have to use like the lighter ones. And my vagina's not changing sizes, just my flow is.
Makes sense. So that's why they would sell boxes with like multiple, because it would use multiple.
Yeah.
My go-to is
You're like, well, I have a small vagina.
I don't even know if that's true. I don't know how you tell the size.
Everybody's like, it's...
I don't know.
Like,
but I just use a super and keep it in all day and I'm fine.
Okay, the thing with organs, and I feel like you know this, is everyone's is, like, relatively the same size.
Okay.
Like, no matter what size, like, your body is, like, your insides are the same. Like, everyone's skeletal system is, like,
average.
Basically the same. Like, your liver's supposed to be this many centimeters, your heart's this many centimeters. Like,
Okay.
no matter what, like, physically look like on the outside, everything on the inside is, like, generally the same. Like, everyone's vagina is, like, very similar size.
Okay. Got it. Got it good.
And, like, when someone's like, oh, like, she has a loose vagina, probably she's turned on because your vagina expands when you are turned on, so that's actually a good thing. And they also probably just have not as strong pelvic floor. So, like, they can, like, squeeze.
T Swift. Their license plate says T Swift.
Fun.
That's cool. Yeah, so just do some Kegels and
yeah.
Keep
and
going.
If a man says you have a loose vagina, tell him that he's stupid and he doesn't understand science.
Yeah. That's I like that.
Yeah.
Very fun.
Because I remember in high school, like, there's a rumor going around about someone, like, having, like, a loose vagina, and I was like, that was so mean.
That is mean.
I also remember when there was someone who all the guys were saying had a stinky vagina, and I think it was traumatizing to literally our entire grade, because then everyone was scared that their vagina stunk.
Yeah.
But it actually just smelled like vagina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's a smell.
Yeah. It's not supposed to smell like flowers.
Yeah. If you didn't know that.
Crazy.
And, like, you can't just, like, spray anything on it or use, like, do people know you have to use special soap on your vagina?
Yeah, don't just, like, use whatever.
Like, you can't just use your normal body wash.
You can't go inside.
No.
Don't go inside with soap.
Don't do it.
Gross. And bad, because your vagina has a pH balance that it has to, like, maintain, and it does that all by itself.
We're just educating the people.
We are just educating the people. Yeah. And if you are trying to tell your doctor something, and they're making you feel like you're crazy, find a new doctor.
Yes. And advocate for yourself. That's the biggest thing I learned through this process.
For sure.
Is, so since I was 10, if not younger, 6, 7, literally 6, I've been dealing with this stomach thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to call my school and see if they have records of how many times I was in the nurse's office. I was a
frequent flyer.
That's what I was thinking of. Frequent flyer there. And it was always after lunch. I would go and lay down, and that's what I needed I need, like, to be in the fetal position. And
space.
Technically it should be standing up, because then it would be able to flow, but, like, that caused so much pain that I wasn't able to.
Oh, yeah.
So I didn't go to recess a lot of times, or I got banned from going to the nurse so often.
That's awful.
Yeah.
Sad.
So, advocating for yourself. So we've been trying to, like, figure out this problem. Like, I got tested for or you can't test for that, but
like celiac.
Celiac, and I'm trying to think, like, they looked at my, oh my gosh, I can't think of it, like, gas and air bubbles, like, that. I was told it was that for a while, and, like, had x-rays on that.
Well, and most people just didn't look into it at all.
Mm-hmm.
They're like
just
eat better.
One person told me it was like an ulcer, and just gave me this medicine. I never took it because I knew I didn't have it. Like, I take ibuprofen without food every time, almost, and that's, like, one of the leading causes of an ulcer.
Oh, okay.
Like, maybe not leading cause, but it's a big cause, I should say.
It's probably a common one, because, yeah, people pop that stuff.
And I'm like, I would have had that a long time ago, and it's not that type of pain. Like, I've had this pain forever.
Yeah.
Like, I know it, and it's the same kind of pain, and, like, the only pain I could compare it to is when I had my appendix out, like, the pain of my appendix. And it's like, is it something specific that you eat? Oh,
that was fun.
She, like, put her legs out as she was riding down a hill. Wow, impressive.
What a brave soul.
But it's not anything specific. I would call myself lactose intolerant, but then I could go eat a pint of ice cream and be fine.
Well, yeah, because you would, like, say that, and then we'd be like, but you're not, because you have this, this, and this. And you're like, but it depends on.
Yeah, I would just make it up, because it's kind of like what the doctors were saying, like, they didn't know, and they're like, you're probably lactose intolerant because these are the foods that you see it in the most. Like, I'd have to keep a food diary.
And then it would be like, it's just easier for people believe you more when you're like, oh, like, I am lactose intolerant, or I'm like
Yeah.
celiac, or like whatever. People just believe you more and like ask less questions rather than being like, well, I can eat cheese, but only like this type of cheese, and like in this amount, and like people don't listen to that.
Well, especially when I didn't have like a diagnosis, like people, and that's what's wrong with us, is we don't believe the person. We feel the need to have a diagnosis or like a cause or reason when we should listen to the person and believe them and not think they're crazy.
Yeah.
Or come up with our own assumptions.
Yes.
Which that was a big thing. Like, people telling me that my bruises are because I drink too much. Like, okay, then explain this bruise that I got and I haven't drank in a month. Like, that just hurts a person, or like a doctor or whatever calling someone crazy. Like, that's just doesn't help them. So advocate for yourself, because coming now to find this out, like, not many doctors are educated on this syndrome, and there isn't a lot of research on it, but like, I have the physical anatomy to prove it, and the only doctor who is able, he's not a neurosurgeon, what is he? Vascular surgeon, who's able to help me is at the Mayo Clinic in Rochester, which, that's wild.
Yeah.
So, advocate.
And also, like, believe people. Like, generally, people aren't going around, like, lying about, like, their health issues or their pain. Like, there's a lot of people who live with, like, chronic illnesses. Like, this is, like, chronic.
Or just chronic pain, and there's an issue.
And, like, all that kind of stuff. And, like, just believe them.
And
just be, like, a decent person.
Be empathetic towards them. Like, we know pain can come from trauma. We know pain can come from anxiety.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the nurse frequent flyers in, like, elementary schools are the kids who have, like, anxiety. And I mean, I think that was what people blamed yours on a lot too, was anxiety.
And that's where I finally was able to recognize, I thought for the longest time it was anxiety. Like, I was like, okay, it was just anxiety. It was fine. But now, as I've, like, become more aware of what my anxiety symptoms are and feelings are, and, like, working on reducing them and treated for it, like, I'm like, no, it's more than anxiety.
Well, and it's also frustrating too, because they're like, okay, it's just anxiety. Well, you can make anxiety, like, better. You can minimize the symptoms. And no one did that for you. No. Like,
that's crazy. That's
they're
crazy.
Like, okay, fine, it's just this diagnosis, but we're also not going to help with that either.
Just lay on the bed.
Yeah, just lay down, you're fine.
Or I'm going to cut you off from going to the nurse's office anymore.
Yeah, you could just...
Or getting a call home to go home.
Yeah.
It's a bummer, but...
It's a bummer. Well, and when people don't believe you, we're kind of talking a lot about, like, the social stuff and some of, like, the medical stuff, but also there's, like, the internal stuff that you go through, too. Like, I had never been scared of going to the doctor or anything, like, shots or anything never, like, scared me. But after, like, my last really bad experience with the doctor, I started having so much, like, medical anxiety, like, going to the doctor.
You still have quite a bit. Like,
I still do. Like, it's
you've
still
gotten
not
a ton better.
But, like, the first time I went to the doctor after, like, my last one, I was literally having a panic attack the whole way there. And then when I got in the room, she took my blood pressure and she, like, turned the machine away from me so I couldn't see the number and was like, "Are you okay?" And I just, like, word vomited, like, truly, like, was seeing spots, was having, like, tunnel vision, could not catch my breath to save my life. Like, my heart was racing. My blood pressure was so high that they were like, we cannot let you leave this hospital until your blood pressure has lowered, because it was, like, that scary high. And
that's like a symptom of like anxiety
yeah,
and like a panic attack where you're not able to control it. It's
Yeah.
so high.
it was awful. It was like one of the worst panic attacks I've ever had.
Scary.
And like no one had even touched me yet.
Mhm.
Like I literally was just because I was there. I hadn't even met this doctor yet. I had no idea what she was going to be like. And yeah,
And your previous appointment that caused this trauma.
that was the one who was like, oh, just have a baby or whatever.
Okay.
And then she also, I mean, honestly, I feel like it's kind of like assault. Like, with my pap smear, it was incredibly painful.
Mhm.
And like, I was literally crying. Like, I made my hand bleed because my fingernails were like
Mhm.
going into my skin so deeply. And she basically just said I was fine and it was no big deal and like whatever.
Yeah.
And
that is, yeah, basically.
and like now that I've had a pap smear done correctly with like consent and like slowly and like the ability to say like no, stop at like any point, honestly, like the 2 pap smears I had before that were like, they were literally assault.
Oh,
because
for sure.
I was obviously in a lot of pain and the doctor was not doing like the things where they're like, okay, I'm going to touch your thigh. Now I'm going to do this. Like none of that happened. They just did it while I was in pain and like never checked in on me at all.
Yeah,
And
that's so scary.
they were very, very traumatizing. Very traumatizing.
Yeah.
Very isolating too, because then you like talk to your friends about it and they're like, oh, it's not that bad. Like, yeah, maybe it hurts like a little. And I was like, oh, I'm just crazy. I'm a baby. Like, I can't handle pain. And I could, but not when it's like that.
I think just like thinking about like those conversations too, like, yeah, I remember having the conversation with friends, like, how was your pap smear or whatever, and like, what did it feel like or hurt or not? And we're all just curious, but like, I hope that eventually we can all have like open conversations about it. Like, I wish that's what we could have had about it so that you wouldn't feel crazy.
Yeah.
And have those feelings too, so that you have a team to support you. Because you, did you have other people that you talked to close about like that type of your health in that respect? Or you didn't really have someone?
I really like minimized it when other people like said their experience. I was like, oh, like I'm not gonna tell them like truly how bad it was.
Yeah.
But like the first one, I literally screamed and I like ripped the paper on the bed. And she just kept going.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's really bad. And doesn't make vaginosmus any better. Definitely makes it worse.
Gosh.
So, yeah.
Advocate for yourself.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, let's find something happy to end with.
Okay.
We're kind of on that route. Is there anything along there?
I mean, I have now found doctors that I truly, truly trust who care about my care and about me and like ask really good questions, answer all my questions with a lot of patience, and just treat me like a human and like believe me when I say stuff and truly help and get me all the resources. And I think that's so important. Like, if you find a doctor you don't like, you don't have to go to them anymore.
Yeah.
There's so many doctors. Talk to your friends. Actually, how I found my OBGYN was through my therapist, because it was the doctor that she goes to.
Yeah.
But, like, talk to your friends. Like, anyone who's like, oh, I need, like, an OBGYN, I'd be like, this is the person to go to.
And I think sometimes people don't want to go to the same doctor or same therapist, but like, why would you not? They're legally have the...
They can't talk about it.
They can't talk about anything like that, so why does it matter?
Yeah.
Like, they're not going to tell someone what your vagina looks like compared to your friends.
It'd be like
or
if
whatever.
Someone's like, I really need a good restaurant, and you tell them a good restaurant, and they're like, but they go there.
Yeah, like, no, you should want to go to a really good person that your friend's raving about.
Yes.
That's how I feel about, therapists specifically.
Yeah.
I haven't found a doctor yet. My biggest thing is with insurance and trying to, like, even be seen and find one. Yeah, no, I haven't gotten there yet, and I can't wait till I do, because I'm excited to find someone who will look at my whole body and the whole part of me versus just,
and will advocate for you.
Yes,
because advocating for yourself only goes so far,
and it's hard.
You need someone else to like back you up,
because you don't know everything.
No.
And they don't know everything either, but you need to be able to work as a team.
Yes.
And it's hard because I'm trying to get my dad or Rachel
Mm-hmm.
on my team too, but like you need a professional in that setting to know some of it.
School.
Yeah, and like just the ins and out of the medical system, like you need someone who is able to do that, which should be the doctor and whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, something I just thought of is I finally, after I think it's been like 5 months that I've been trying to be seen by a psychiatrist. Because initially my first appointment got canceled, and then this one has been on the calendar, and I finally got it. And my reason for going was to try and talk about change of meds for my ADHD medication because of the loss of appetite and like seeing the increase in weight, and just wanted to check out other options with it. And this was before knowing the stomach diagnosis. And I had the psychiatrist, but what was super cool is before I met with the psychiatrist, I met with a social worker,
which is amazing,
which I never heard of. She's like, I'm a social worker, and basically she got to know my whole life story, kind of like ins and outs of the trauma that I've experienced, family history of things, and my concerns and my hopes and wishes and whatever. And she basically diagnoses you with your stuff that you have, which she said major depression disorder, anxiety, which I know those, like I've had those. And then she added CPTSD, which is complex post-traumatic stress syndrome, which like is so obvious now that she like stated that, but like I've never been diagnosed with that per se, or thought about like that's something that I do live with and experience the side effects, the symptoms of on the daily. So that was interesting to hear. But anyway, then the social worker chats with the with the psychiatrist to like give her the lowdown and like what she thinks. And then the psychiatrist will just come to you with just the straight like medicine aspect of it, of that's her actual job.
Yeah.
Which was so cool. It was a long session in the beginning, but like I felt like it was very thorough, and like I feel like I was actually getting my needs met versus my previous psychiatrist. It was just like, oh, let's try this one.
Yeah.
So I started a new SSRI, which I was previously on Lexapro, which you have good.
Yeah. Lexapro works really well for me.
And I would say it was working well for me. I just needed more.
Yeah.
And I'm also on a mood stabilizer, and I don't yet feel the need to up that. I just wanted to try something different. So we're in the works of weaning and adding Zoloft to the brain, and yeah, it'll either make me super depressed or it might be the one, so time will tell. It's interesting, but
yeah,
I'm happy that in the aspect of like a psychiatrist and like my mental health wise, I definitely have found safe people.
Yeah.
And someone to like look at me. So
that's good.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing going on.
Yeah. The thing is, time, patience, and application.
Ooh, that's good.
Is what you need, and you will get there.
You will.
And we love you so much.
Love you so much. We're off to an art festival.
Yeah, we believe you with whatever you have.
Yeah. And sympathetic, and we're going to keep our judgments aside.
Yes.
Because all we need to do is love each other.
Yes.
Okay.
Love, love, love.
Bye-bye.
Bye.